allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the January 9th meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning. Good morning.
Madam Clerk, the first item, please.
First item is item 2, unfinished business. Number 1, consider approval of 2014 requests for memberships, dues, and subscriptions. Audit Finance.
Good morning, Betty Griner, Financial Administrator. Before you, you have the amended list of the memberships, dues, and subscriptions for 2014. We've added a column for amended amount. This is what the departments anticipate will be paid, or they're requesting to be paid. And then another column for the purpose and the need, listing why they believe this is a need that their department has.
Sure.
I'll be happy to answer questions, or there's some of the department heads here if you have questions for them.
Okay, thank you. Other questions? Very thorough. We appreciate all the time that everyone spent on this.
Yes, I do appreciate all the departments taking the time to fill it out and respond as to how these impact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do too, and thank you, Betty, for heading up the effort, and thanks all the elected officials and department leaders for their participation. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mm-hmm. Is there a motion on the request?
I would so move to approve the expenditures for the memberships, dues, and subscriptions for 2014.
It's a motion by Commissioner Cook,
Second.
second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item 3, consent agenda.
Are there questions on the 5 items?
Madam Chair, I would move for approval of the consent agenda as presented.
It's a motion by Commissioner Cook,
Second.
second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk, number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Madam Chair, this morning we have one set of vouchers dated January the 8th, 2014. Total amount of $1,726,772.17. And I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers as presented.
Thank you. It's a motion by Commissioner Archer,
Second.
second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
Move approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item A3, consider approval of resolution number 2014-1, authorizing the county clerk to cancel a check to Ernesto A. Sanchez in the amount of $3,000. And Commissioners, this is strictly a cancel. It was determined by the courts that they did not need this, so that's it.
Okay.
Will not be reissued.
All right.
I'll
there a
move for
motion?
approval of the cancellation of the check.
Thank you.
Second.
It's a motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item B, County Treasurer, number 1, consider approval of resolution number 2014-2, authorizing the County Treasurer to cancel and reissue a check to Jim Etzel in an amount of $79.84.
Good morning, Commissioners. Larry Moss, Shawnee County Treasurer. This is a cancel and reissue. Mr. Etzel did not receive his check in the mail, so he's asking for that to be reissued. It's a motor vehicle refund.
Okay. I'll move to adopt the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item B2, consider approval of request of Jim Etzel to waive the $10 check replacement fee.
He did pay his $10 and he's asking, since he did not receive it, that he be reimbursed the $10.
Motion to approve the request.
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item C, Health Agency, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-13-2014 with the Kansas Statewide Farm Worker Health Program through the Kansas Department of Health and Environment to allow the Shawnee County Community Health Center to provide a wide range of primary health care services to migrant and seasonal farm workers and their families.
Good morning, Commissioners. Alice Weingartner, Shawnee County Health Agency. This is a program that is administered through the State Health Department, and it's a place where individuals who qualify as migrant and seasonal farm workers can go to get support for their health care costs, and then we would be reimbursed through that program for the services provided.
Thank you, Alice. Are there questions on the request or on
Madam
the
Chair, if I
contract?
might. Do we know, does Shawnee County have migrant and seasonal workers?
We have, based on our UDS report, which is our Uniform Data Systems report that we submit every year, we probably have less than 100 people who would maybe qualify or who classify themselves as migrant and seasonal farm workers. Not all of them go through this program for support. Some of them just pay for their services on their own.
Okay.
But we do have a few. So, not like some communities that we might see out in western Kansas.
Right. And that's the reason I asked. I know that this is an issue for western Kansas and other parts of the state. We often don't think of Shawnee County in
We don't.
those terms.
I
The
think
other
in the
thing I will
rural
say
areas,
is this
definitely.
program that the state runs, their 330, what's their 330G program, they have to follow the same requirements of being a federally qualified health center that we do. And so that's why they want to have a written contract in place to support those folks who might qualify.
Okay. Move approval of the contract. Is there a
Second.
second? Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item D, corrections, number 1, consider approval of request to post and fill 1 vacant office assistant position in the amount, including benefits, $32,261.20.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Department of Corrections. Today is a request for approval to post and fill an Office Assistant 2 position within it. It is within our Special Services Division. It is the only clerical position we have in that area. This is the person who is responsible for the billing, for revenue for the department, and very valued position. I don't want to have any delays on getting revenue to come back to the county for housing. And this person is directly responsible for that, filing in that department, and also maintains our off-site filing as well.
Thank you, Brian.
Motion to approve the request.
Second.
Thank you. There's a motion by Commissioner Archer and second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item D2, consider emergency purchase to replace the damaged staff parking security gate at a cost of $19,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole again. We had an unfortunate incident at the Department of Corrections which involved a refuge truck that had inadvertently hit a security gate at the Department of Corrections. We immediately contacted Tom Block and was working very closely that we followed all the protocols. And looking at that, it is a security gate. We started looking at the immediate cost of replacing and looking at the structure. When the jail was originally built, I'd have to say they were very proud of this gate because when we looked into the replacing it, they wanted near $100,000 to replace it. It is a wrought iron fence. I believe it was more for decorative type things. It does serve a purpose for security, but there was no way that I wanted to venture down the road of looking at replacing this for $100,000. I worked with Tom and Betty, and we started looking at an emergency purchase because of the nature of the gate of being security, of looking at other alternatives. We have worked with a group with Metcon before. They do very good work, and they were able to look at giving us what we need. It still looks nice, but it serves our purpose, mission-critical things, and it will enhance the department's security. And they were able to do it for $19,000. In working with Betty and Tom, we submitted this to the insurance. We have a deductible of $10,000, which I worked with Tom on getting the cost and that paid for, and then the insurance will pick up the remaining $9,000. So I am asking your approval. This is about as cheap and as durable as we can get for it to maintain our purpose and things like that. So and I'd be happy to answer any questions. It was unfortunate, so.
But it happened.
But it happened.
So, yeah. Are there
Madam Chair,
questions?
just-
Yes.
Director Cole, I know that, as the commissioners, we're always looking at the bottom line, we're always looking at price, we're always looking at quality too. I know that you said this is as economic as we can go. When the one estimate had came in at $100,000, our insurance deductible, does that change at all? I mean, aren't we going to spend $10,000, whether it's $100,000 or $19,000?
Yeah.
And do you feel that this is the best purchase that for the safety and for the integrity of the Shawnee County Department of Corrections?
Yes, they're going to take some of the existing, and put, the gate we have now is motorized and works and goes in there. We've had constant problems with that, when it gets cold, things like that. We're able to work with this company. They're gonna put heavy-duty hinges on some of the existing gate stuff that we have, and then for us to be able to do it manually, which will be better for us, maintenance-wise. And the other issue is going to be just as secure.
Okay.
And this just happened to be an existing, a very top-grade gate, so to speak, and because of the material it was made out of. And like I said, that whole back parking lot was, with the wrought iron, which I believe was more of decorative type things. And when they built the jail, it was a state-of-the-art facility, and a lot of times they look at landscaping and things like that. And I didn't think it would be responsible looking at a $100,000 gate or looking to Tom for a $90,000 gate. I just couldn't do that. But we're going to get the same durability, we're going to get the same type of gate. It's just going to be much cheaper. And they're going to be able to take a lot of what we have and redo it.
And I guess really the reason why I ask is, regardless of how you cut it, we're still going to have a $10,000 deductible.
Yes, sir.
Whether it's $1,000, $100,000, or $1 million
Yes,
gate.
absolutely.
And so I do appreciate your being conscientious of cost and what the needs of the Department of Corrections are. And so thank you very
I
much.
appreciate that.
Comment?
Well, I just wanted to point out that insurance companies base their premiums on experience a lot of
Yes.
times. So we could submit a claim for $100,000, but it may bite us in the end, and that's what you get into. And I don't think the term cheap is correct as much as budgetarily cognizant.
Responsible.
Let's use that term
Yes.
in the future.
Sounds like a
If-
CPA term.
Yeah, it does.
I just meant cheap as in price, not quality.
Absolutely.
There you go, there you go. I'll make a motion to approve the emergency purchase.
So motion by Commissioner Archer,
I'll wholeheartedly second.
second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you very much.
Item E, Public Works Solid Waste. Number 1, consider awarding bid in the amount of $410,292.96 for the Northwest 86th Street Bridge over Little Soldier Creek and authorization and execution of contract C14-2014.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Block with Public Works and Solid Waste. This item is a Public Works item. And as mentioned in the memo, we took bids for the replacement of the bridge on Northwest 86th Street. And we received 4 bids ranging from $410,292.96 up to $687,912. And the engineer's estimate was $510,313. Midwest Construction submitted the low bid, $410,292.96. We have worked with Midwest before. They're a very reputable contractor, have done good work for us. So it is our recommendation that we award the bid to Midwest Construction. And the funding for this will come from 100% will be from the sales tax funds. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Thank you, Tom. Are there questions? Is a motion?
I would move to approve the expense.
No, second.
Motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
Anyone have any?
Larry Moss, Shawnee County Treasurer. Commissioners, I wanted to just give you a real brief update on the conversion of commercial motor vehicles. As of January the 2nd, the state began moving commercial motor vehicles off the tax rolls and onto a fee-based system. And they offered the opportunity to the counties to volunteer to do that for them. 79 counties out of the 105 volunteered to do that, including Shawnee County. The county could do it just for their own county, or they can, in fact, do it for other counties. We in Shawnee County have decided to do it for Shawnee County. In addition, where Douglas County said no, so we're going to, if time permits and the system works well, we will also do that service or perform that service for Douglas County. In fact, more than half of the customers that we've moved over so far have been Douglas County customers. Now, we do receive fees for that, so that's an additional revenue stream for us. But I'm happy to report after a week of experience, it has gone very well. Not without some little glitches, but nothing that would be unexpected with what we're doing here. So it's moving along very well. I'm very pleased with what has transpired so far, and we began moving those commercial vehicles this month. Now, I have mentioned this to you in the past. You've got a lot of things, you may not remember this, but frankly, they're no longer going to pay property tax on commercial vehicles. Commercial vehicles roughly defined as any vehicle that has a DOT number, non-farm vehicles. So they will pay a fee. That fee will take the place of the taxes. It's a much lower fee, but we're told that's revenue neutral by KDOR. And the way that is revenue neutral is they are planning to provide the county with IRP being interstate money that in the past they sent directly to the highway fund. A portion of that is going to be allocated to the county, and hopefully that, according to their calculations, that will make it revenue neutral. I will attest to that. I'll believe it when I see it. But we will have another stream of revenue to hopefully make up for the loss in tax revenue for commercial vehicles. Be glad to answer any questions you have.
Mr. Ron, are they saying how long then those highway funds will be transferred over? Is that indefinite, or, I mean,
Well,
is it just for the first year, or?
As far as I know, that's the law. That's the way it's going to work from this point forward until they change their mind. Obviously, since it's a fee, the legislature is capable of redirecting fees at their will. But the way the law stands right now, we will receive that IRP money, and I'm expecting some of that to come in as early as March. How that is distributed amongst the taxing districts is still up for debate. We're trying to get some legal opinions about that so that we do it correctly.
Okay.
Because that money is identified just a little bit different than a normal motor vehicle, which is based on the garaging address. With IRPs, they have a home address for the company with no address associated with the vehicle. So there's some question of, do you just take that one address for where the company's located? If you do that, there's going to be some winners and losers. There's some big winners if you happen to have that company sitting in your tax district. A big loser if you don't have that. So we've been told that's the way it should be done by KDOR. We've questioned that, and we'll be asking for legal opinions before we actually make a distribution.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
your questions.
And just keep us appraised as things develop.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Anyone else?
Madam Chair, if I may.
Yes.
I would really like to take a moment and commend our Public Works, our Emergency Management, Shawnee County Sheriff, and really all the departments, how they've responded over the last week with the snow, the ice, the cold. I know that I've not had any complaints from any county residents regarding their roads.
None.
And so I just really want to take a moment and thank Tom and his crew and everything that they do with making sure that we can get around safely.
Yep, I agree completely. Thank you. Commissioners, this is somewhat timely, but I didn't know if you had seen the most recent announcement from NACO on the Bigger Waters Act, which is dealing with flood insurance. And this is within Shawnee County and then nationwide, but there's been a change in how those subsidies are decided. And so I'd like to, if you didn't see this information, I'd like to give it to you. And then I would request that, maybe our county counselor's office take a look at it and possibly put together a letter from us to our senators and representatives in Washington, because this is impacting some real estate already in some areas of our county in relation to premiums on their flood insurance. So Rich has a copy of that, and maybe we can draft a letter and get that on the agenda if that's agreeable.
I think that's a great idea,
Okay.
and it's particularly pertinent after FEMA redesigned the
Exactly.
flood
Very much
zones
so.
a year or two ago. I
Mhm.
think it's very appropriate, and I thank you for bringing it up.
But this,
Madam Chair.
NACO has joined the senators in Capitol Hill press conference to support flood insurance affordability bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
And there is a need for an executive session not to exceed 10 minutes for acquisition of real estate. I have no other reasons unless the commissioners or the counselor has anything to add.
Can we add a consultation with attorney just as an abundance of caution?
Yes, sir. With that motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0 and no actions anticipated.
I just said I was gonna be real quiet, but I was just gonna turn sparkle all morning. All over the
Oh,
room. No comment, just.
Okay, we are back in session. No action required. We are adjourned.